Hello and welcome to another coaching video, and in this one we have a Diamond Kha'Zix versus a Diamond Udyr. Now of course there is the Ghost Conqueror, which makes me nervous. Guys, just play Assassin Kha'Zix, enjoy your wins, go forth and smurf on people. No need to go Udyr unless you are Udyr himself. However, we will watch what the Kha'Zix, who is OP, does against this Udyr, who is still strong, and people just simply don't want to play. But you should be playing because it's still good. You know, in a ganking meta, as I've said, with almost a ZZ Raw Portal. Well, that's a flashback. With Jack's Show, as well as Demonics being super OP, but it's a ganking meta. You know, people were spamming it, enjoying it, and then they kind of nerfed those things, but they made it more farming friendly. Yeah, right? You kind of just split the difference and say, well, I'll just keep doing what I've always been doing. Now, the Kha'Zix will go ahead and do his blue side. We got Deep Vision there. We saw that. Most likely from the leash, you're going to see it anyway. Lulu, Caitlyn versus Ezreal Zyra. You know, that's, you know, I kind of like playing with a good Ezreal emphasis there, because obviously Zyra is 1.6 million points for me. But Caitlyn is a bit of an issue, but you can win that lane. Did I just see that correctly? What? Never start E, my friends. Ever, never start E. 12-second cooldown on the E, 7-second cooldown on the Q. Allows you to poke at level 2 prio, get electrocute procs. Obviously, she won't come on for some particular reason. That's just a better way to go, because, you know, anyway, we won't talk about the bottom lane, we'll talk about the junglers, but it's good for you guys to understand some perspectives from lane, correct? So if you are the Kha'Zix and you see this E-rush, you know, Zyra, is there something we can do about that? Udyr, in the meantime, is full clearing. He does this, loses a reset, should go to the grump into the blue. Keeper sequencing, profound, efficient, and beautiful. You want to make sure that when you are done on the top side here, if everything, you know, doesn't go well for us, and we just have to base in the bottom scuttle, that we have the Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, Grump spawning in sequence. The Kha'Zix, on the other hand, obviously has gone here. Woo, boy, getting low. And we have a vision ward here by the Akali. That's how you do it, all right? When you're Diamond, you have to start focus on jungle lane interaction a lot more, thinking about the things I'm telling you about right now, from the Zyra's perspective, from the Lissandra, sorry, not Akali, ensuring that you ward where you know the jungle's going. Because after, let's just say 2 minutes 45, we're gonna fight this, but obviously we have to pay attention to the fact that the Pantheon will be coming from base. Don't overcommit to it. Oh my goodness, it breaks my soul. This happens so damn much. One more, boom, kill. Now the Akali is roaming up ahead of the Lissandra. They're gonna go ahead and kill us. This is caused by Diamond jungling. And I know this because I had a coaching session with an Evelyn who did exactly that. And if you want to take your climbing and jungling to the next step, head to Virkayu.gg for all of the jungle resources you need, from courses based upon your MMR to one-on-one coaching to the coaching of library, as well as a free jungle improvement PDF. Everything you need as a jungler to climb faster than anybody else with the role, all located in one place. Why spend 500 hours of your time trying to find out what you don't know you need to know when I can give it to you directly infused into your veins on Virkayu.gg? What are you testing for? You go and snack this with the Kha'Zix coming from the top side. Cool. I mean, I have tempo now to go down. And if we look at it in real time, exactly where we are, right? The Lissandra has a little bit of a pressure push, I'm gonna say point, on the Akali, which means we can basically say, okay, bye. Or you can chunk him and then say bye, and now you can always float around the back if this lane ends up being a little bit different, but most of the you're fine just running down and double scuttling. Then of course we should have a warding totem, which means we can then go and ward this second grump, because Kha'Zix mains are having more success. Well, there's two kinds of philosophies. Do we want to R-evolve, run around 5 CS per minute, or do we want to focus more on farming and sequencing and maintaining an advantage just by picking our attacking points properly? That would be my preferred mechanism, and of course on the gameplay channel, which deals with high elo content only, that's what we're talking about. But here, you know, this is great, but as soon as we go and ghost in and waste all our subs, and you know the Pantheon's coming from base because he got the kill, he went back to base, he's gonna come out with long swords and apparently a tier. Your Gangplank's here, your Akali, while she's shoved in, still has the ability to move faster than Lissandra. So this fight is cataclysmically shit, and it annoys me, and it should annoy you. And when you do this, you have to put into your mind, okay, look, that's just my mistake. I forced this fight, but it's going to compromise your whole early game. So let's see what happens and how we run with it, because obviously, you know, you can't control everybody else in this regard, but you can control yourself, and you did bait your entire team. The Lissandra should not be following this. She should have F-keyed and gone, well then, yeah, so I'm just going to stay mid lane. But because she rotates, she also loses her flash. She also dies from this. That's her fault. Now Kha'Zix gets to move down here. We do have Prior from the bottom lane. As I said, the Caitlyn's the issue. But based upon the Zyra starting E, she was not going to have a good Ezreal. She was not going to play well herself. They were not going to be able to pressure the Lulu Caitlyn. You can. You have to play it well. We do actually end up hitting the root though. I mean, as I say that, right? Ezreal's going in. Kha'Zix is going to translate this to the bottom lane, obviously, because he walks down through mid lane. He walks and takes it Scuttle Crab. Udyr obviously is going to come out of base now. So the Kha'Zix should say, I'm out. Nice haul. See, I mean, going back to base with 1,500 cash money gold. We are rich. And he's going to go Iron Spike Whip, isn't he? Imagine if he just went first strike and went for Serrated Dirk. You'd be running over this game. Over. It'd be destroyed. You got Futures Market. Oh, we have a Dirk. Oh, the things we could do. But no, we're going Iron Spike Whip because why? The win rate is not better. All right? The usage rate and the way to play Assassin Kha'Zix is so much better now. The base damage increase is huge for all forms of Kha'Zix, even if you want to do this or Assassin. That doesn't really matter, but that's my 2 cents on it. Now, Udyr in this particular case makes the big mistake, causes the cascade of death. Kha'Zix runs across mid lane in vision, takes this, we see this. They back off nicely. Of course, Lulu Caitlyn can't do that. And now the Udyr can float to the top side and then look for a gank here. Of course, this guy has now gone back to base as well. We'll come back with Serrated Dirk. That is going to be a tough lane. You know, a very tough lane. Kha'Zix on the other hand, oh, what are we watching here? This I like a lot. This I like a lot. So what he's done is he can come out of base now, right? He's done his full clear. He's done the Scuttle Crab. That's 28. Now he can go and do the Grump. His support isn't there, but he looks at this and says, Caitlyn hasn't based yet. She is now overstaying. I can leverage this into some kills, I think. And also Lulu was the one who kind of did go back to base and shows up here. And typically the ADCs are the big problem. See, the Kha'Zix is like, well, I could just go for the Caitlyn. And then he realizes, but then I could just kill the Lulu instead. Well, can we kill the Caitlyn at least? She has flash up. Should be able to. Yeah. I like this. This is very nice. This is heads up play. It's basically saying, look, instead of full clearing up blindly, using my Iron Spike Whip for the greatness of monsters, I'm going to take one camp and realize, oh, she stayed out with no itemization purchase. How silly. And the Lulu decides to go here and ward up. But now Caitlyn's going to go back to base. So from the Lulu's perspective, you're going to be like, well, I'm going to have to do something. That's when you roam. So ideally, your ADC is going back to base, even if a little bit after you, and now you can roam. And as a jungler, I want you to think about this as well as you're in Diamond and increasing your rank, because if you can play around support roams because you know they're coming or should be coming, you can position yourself accordingly. Now, obviously, that doesn't happen here because, again, still some residual platinum issues, but we do see the Kha'Zix bot lane. We're like, oh, okay, well, that means I know your Raptors are up. Those things spawn at 5 minutes to 5 minutes 10, so that's free. I know the sucker's going to spawn at 5 minutes 27, 5 minutes 30, or whatever it might be around, right? Circuit depends on pilot and champion. Now, if we have a scanner up and we just go and walk on this, and we walked over a ward at all, we wouldn't know, and then we could just be killed by this guy because we're quite low. So the Kha'Zix will know at this point mentally, all right, look, I showed, I did, I conquered, I bugged life, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. Does anyone remember that? Are you guys too young? A bug life? Does that reference mean anything to you? Hopefully it does. It was funny back in the day. Well, when I was a child. I'm sure it's still funny now. I will watch it one day with my daughter, but hopefully maybe you guys have seen it as well. Anyway. That aside, we now see the Pantheon on the top side, 3-0-0. This guy does encounter jungling. This is great. So basically, full sequence, see action, cut, take, gank if possible. Can't because I screwed this lane up, so I'm just going to go back to base. Kha'Zix says, I can gank this nicely. After doing Grump, cool, I'm going to do this. What he could do now is stay out, kind of do this camp. But at the same time, if he's got a lot of gold from his actions, let's actually have a look here. Just to see his pathways, because what he can do is go back to his blue, he can go back to this, because what do we have in pocket here? 789, not enough to fully justify like a huge recall, and you know that the Udyr should have taken our top side. So those camps, basically, you're thinking now, how do I fill the time if he did that? If he didn't do that, then we'll handle that when it comes to it, but basically we have this RNG scuttle. So what I want to do is make sure I get this blue. I want to make sure I get this RNG scuttle before he resets perfectly. Now I can decide, right, do I want to invade here with 6 and kill? Good pressure point. Do I want to rotate and flank and kill them again? Good pressure point. Do I want to dive with Lissandra, who's super duper low, who does have ultimate and W and Airy? So least it's not Aftershock. Can we agree on that one? Yeah, we can agree on that one. So Udyr, in the meantime, we'll go Krugs, probably into his Rev, probably into his Raptors. Let's see what happens from the Udyr's perspective. Oh! Come on, man. Come on, guys. Can we just have nice, good, and tight pathing? Oh, he just shows too much. He gets too greedy. The cutoff point, my friends, as you can see from blue, the minions are going in the middle. The cutoff point, learn this just before, you see that where the mouse is just before this, okay? This little crack. So if you keep yourself a little bit positioned here, you should be okay, right? You should be okay. Obviously, when you pause it, it's a bit more hard-lined, but just as an indicator, be a little bit more safe with it. You know, you got the tree there. So this is your minion wave cutoff point. You got that on this side, it's here. Here you go, just before the flowers or the shrooms or whatever that might be. Shrooms, I think. So, Swedish corner. Oh, unlucky. Because now we've revealed ourselves, and the Udyr can basically say, excuse me, why are you taking my raptors in my jungle? I have blasting 1+ Swifties. Akali does the good thing of actually rotating over to this particular scenario to help her Kha'Zix, who then gets the benefit of that mid lane prior because Lissandra's super low. She's obviously gonna, well, that's a complete waste of her spell. I don't know what the hell she's thinking of doing there. Like, that's really silly. That's probably gonna annoy a lot of Akali mains. Like, why would you use that? But in the meantime, Kha'Zix recognizes this and says, look, thank you, mid laner. I could stay to take this, but they're pushed up super low, so I'm going to rotate in here with my R, make sure I get that unseen passive threat auto, and we're slowed for about 1,000 years, so we can't kill the Lulu, but that's a nice kill. So we can do this. Now we know at this stage, our red has spawned, and it's coming to the moment where our Raptors and Krugs will start to respawn, if we kind of time it with when we took the Dragon. So we can fall back to this, reset, and now go topside for this respawn, this respawn, this respawn, and this spawn. And the Udyr will be that side, but we will be stronger because we're 203. So let's see if that's exactly what he does. Very good. It's exactly what he's going to do because we know that the Udyr did the Gromp, so the Raptors will spawn thusly. Ooh. See, now we have 1,800 cash money gold in pocket, and now you're staying out, so... You know, if Udyr stays here and shows up and wants to do this, yeah, Kali has prio, yeah, Pantheon has prio, which means it should equal a Herald. What if Lissandra magically kills the Kali? What if Udyr is strong enough with the GP to kill the Pantheon? You're going to sit with 2,000 gold and try and fight them over this Herald with a Kali having no R? Right? I'd prefer here just to reset, ensure that 1,800 is spent, and should be a beautiful lethality-based item instead of whatever the hell gold drinker nonsense we're going. And then we can go to the top side here and be so fluid. I mean, if you're going your Prowlers, your Duskblade, your Clips, you can pick either one, whatever suits your boat. Floats your boat, suits your flowers. So that's a great thing to do. In the meantime, I'm having a fat chat about this, not even recognizing what's going on. Because obviously, from our perspective as the Udyr here, you're looking at this as a cannon wave. This Pantheon is strong. This champion's very obnoxious. We're level 7. We've just dinged it. We're gonna go for this now. But I don't know if we should because Gangplank can't help us. Why are we fighting this? Let him go. South Africa would say, Footsec, let him go. Take this, let him base, say, cool. Thanks. If Kha'Zix shows up here with still Iron Spike Whip plus Longsword, all right, boy, let's fist. I'll go for it. And, you know, because, as I said, the Lissandra very clearly could kill the Akali. Not really. The Akali killed the Lissandra, but she's super duper low from this. So if you're the Udyr, right? Like this is the kind of stuff you're looking at. I'm doing the Gromp. I'm looking at this. Okay, I see this guy's basing. I'm looking at this. I'm watching this right now. I'm watching this because it's a Lissandra. So she goes for all of that. She does get the kill, but now she's chunked. So I'm doing this. I come out of this. This guy's gone. All right. I can take this. Because if Kha'Zix shows up with full Duskblade, you should still be able to leave because he doesn't have Flash, he has Ghosty, which he used. He has R, which again, he used down. So there's no real reason for us to worry too much about this. We can take this risk on the Herald, and then we can bounce if they show up. Because again, it's all very well talking about, hey, this is the perfect pathing to do shit, and you will never die, but it's not true, right? The Kha'Zix here has within his power to make a play. He's choosing not to. We don't know that is Udyr, so what we should feel is that it's 9-0 in terms of kills, which means we probably should try and risk something a little bit to get some gold back in pocket, which would be this. Not running at this guy like a headless chicken and then squirting your juices all over his nice shield. he's gonna get annoyed, and then he's gonna, well, bitch slap you with it. So the Kha'Zix now decides, instead of thinking about the Herald because it's a dead Udyr, I'm gonna do a full clear. Now the Udyr has two schools of thought here. One, I go back down here, farm some more, maybe do the RNG scuttle, maybe gank bot lane, but again, Udyr versus Zyra. As long as you get Empowered Awakened. Awaken E, you're fine against that, but still, you know, or I could just go topside fist and maybe do something about this. Because again, we need the risk factor to come back into this game, because we're really far down. Let's see what happens. Kha'Zix decides to float his boat into the river, now gets spotted on the ward, so again, good control, I do like that. Udyr is deciding to go back to his romp, and then doesn't want to do anything about the Kha'Zix because he didn't press tab to see that the sucker hadn't bought since he was down. Diamond, my friends, it is still, so obviously it's more coachy, teachy voice with the diamonds, but that's because I feel like in this particular case, it's not that it's easy to kind of apply all of this in game, but it's that if there's 10 things you need to know and do every game in order to get Master Tier, right? Like that's the thing you got to understand as Akali hits us, so we know she's roaming down. You know, doing one of them is a problem. You know, doing 8 of them, that's okay. But when you miss absolutely fundamental tracking procedures, which is why I'm going to make a jungle tracking course, talk about this stuff, because it's very, very important. If you want Master Tier, categorically, if you want Challenger, categorically, that you can get into the enemy jungler's head through anticipation, because as we E onto the knockup, because we have to be able to make the right macro plays based upon where we think he's going to go, or where he is, and what he wants to do, and so on. Because if you understood immediately, as soon as the Kha'Zix shows here, he's coming down. He's coming down and you have to watch for the Akali. Okay, she shows again, which is good. So now the Kha'Zix goes straight topside to do that Herald, and obviously the Udyr is now taking the Scuttle Crab. Akali is going all in, and the Lissandra has enough CC. So basically, once this dings, ding, 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 okay, Herald is gone. Where are we going? Guy comes down with the Iron Spike Whip. Long sword. Does a dragon. Does this. Does this. Does this. He did the blue and the scuttle as well. Then he does this. Right? Does everything, plus the red. Shows up here with the same itemization. So I know he path bottom side to top side. I don't rotate. I don't think about doing anything. We die trying to fight a Pantheon 1v1 in a cannon wave. Kha'Zix goes straight for this and takes it. Now I know categorically these two camps are up. Can I, 1, kill this lane, dive this lane, and take all of these camps to offset some of that advantage? Because I anticipate the Kha'Zix will try and do this, and probably dive this, because he's got nothing else to do, because these camps aren't up. If he takes this out of base and goes straight back to base and now comes down again, that's hilarious, but let's see. Now, yeah, there you go, as expected. He's not going to go back to base because he just left base. All of this is information you have in game. So I don't want to hear that, hey, we don't have this information. You 100% have this information. You press tab, you F key, and you look. And of course, he does go for this, which is great, but obviously we have to watch for the Zyra and the Ezreal, so we don't greed too much. Could we do the dragon? Possibly we could have done the dragon, but Kha'Zix, instead of going to the top lane because it's not diveable, goes here. We get the stun here. We can kill the Akali. Nice rotational kill. Good. A little bit of an overcommit. Now we want to make sure we can kill this Kha'Zix, who obviously has his R evolve at this particular stage instead of the Q evolve. Q is still mathematically the best, but obviously I covered the R evolve on the gameplay channel because of that buff, right? That 12-second duration buff was 10 seconds. It gives us a lot of potency. It's still a lot of damage. Like the Gore Drinker, the champion still does a lot of damage. And sure, you die quicker without it, but you also kill quicker. Assassin life. We know he took this, my friend. We know he took this. Anyway, so we could have done this, but I feel like the shutdowns here is as much as we could do. I really do think that this Akali low guy basing free Herald if Kha'Zix shows he dies is the best play. And it showcases to you the biggest difference between a Challenger jungler and a Diamond jungler. Master jungler and a Diamond jungler. Grandmaster jungler and a Diamond jungler. They really value that Herald and they won't let someone get away with it for free. And if they can snack it in a losing game to get some cash money from plates, they will. Right, ulting the wave Ezreal. Kha'Zix shows up here. Akali also shows up from the mid lane. Udyr's now... Did he actually think about finishing his Krugs? Kha'Zix jumps in. We get the double root. We need to try and get the kill onto the Akali here. We do, unfortunately. Yes? Yes. I'm like looking both ways. A nice little tick damage from the Wingborn Storm, not Phoenix. Still call it Phoenix, but Wingborn Storm. That's why the champion's still good, because, you know, like, we're level... we're 7 CS up on the Kha'Zix, we should be more, but we're 7 CS up. The Kha'Zix does have objective control, which is down to our pathing, not the champion. But in PvP sense, we're still kind of useful. And when they want to dive, we have the E, right? So that's really huge. Now, of course, we go back to the red buff while they do this. Zyra should fall from this, execute it, which is perfect. Support should execute for the dives way more often. Ezreal gets the kill. We know the Kha'Zix is on the dragon. So we're going to float the boat here. Once more. Akali will be coming from base. Okay, so we either turn and kill, or we burn and run. Especially in this kind of game state, because, you know, obviously it's getting a little bit, you know, like we're down 3k gold, we got some shutdowns, we can get back into it. Akali's coming, Akali's coming, Akali's coming. No flash, no E, dead Kha'Zix, free dragon. G will show up here, can we get it? Well, we don't have smite, and we don't have flash either. G will kill us. As I said, turn and kill, or burn and run. You can handle it. Either way, not so perfect. Right. Panther, in the meantime, is on the mid lane with his Eclipse itemization basing again within Vision, giving away the information. Kali will now shove the bottom lane here. The chess pieces begin to move, but our bottom lane is not primed to move. Our mid lane is not primed to move. We are not really primed to move, and we're down 9 kills. Still 4k gold, it's manageable, but we have to be smart. Okay, we need to hit that here. We need to have control what's here and here and here. We need to protect our entrances 100%. We want to maximize level 11 in the next phase, and just try and shadow our mid lane as much as possible, because Kha'Zix can start to get deep. What is he actually doing? Let's press the button. He's farming, because of course that's what you would want to do when you have the lead. Farm your camps. Don't siege. Don't go deep. But as you saw from my point of view, from the Udyr, as we watch this fight, I'm thinking I'm worried that there's going to be this invasion of players and champions into my jungle now to get deep vision, to kill me, to use their lead. That's what I'm afraid of, because that's what people should try and do, which is why you want the control wood here. You want one here. You want one here. You want to make sure you're warded up so that you can track these movements and then farm safely. Make sure you can control your camps, anti-siege, hold turrets as much as possible. We sequence up. Kali goes in. Kha'Zix will show up here. We just saw him. Most likely we'll just jump in over the wall. Imagine if he went Q evolve into E evolve for the level 11. It'd go in and out very easily. It is a tech you can use, but that's good hesitation. We get that passive auto off on the flash. She dies. There we go. Nicely done. Blue team overcommits a little bit. Red team goes all in. Kha'Zix shadows, full sequences, and cuts in. So that was fine. Still would have preferred to see a bit more aggression if we're that fed, but given that he's not as fed as we might think. Hey, Udyr sucks, guys. No, he's good. Look at this. He's running circles around them. I love the Swifties, obviously. The Pantheon's going to ult in, and we're just going to run away. We have the Swifties. We have our spells here. Press R again. Then we'll have E up again shortly as necessary. There we go. Yeah. Nicely done. So, Udyr doing his job. Kha'Zix not really doing much of anything with that build. And obviously, he's stuck in the middle of... He will go this Kha'Zix build because they want to jump into 3 people and survive while still killing them. They want to compensate for the terrible positioning with itemization, instead of just becoming better at positioning and windows of opportunity and going in and out with assassin cooldowns. That's what you should be doing, rather than trying to compensate in a negative fashion. I will keep bringing it up because it's true. Level 11 now. He has kept his farming up, which is fine. They have the exact same gold, similar KDAs, similar farm. Will be literally equal on objectives at this particular stage. He will ding 12 though, so he'll have that. Well. Why? Just give it up. I don't know. It's a waste of time for me. It's like, okay, look, the guy's gonna ding 12. I'm not 11 yet. I'm gonna use my R here, so I'm not getting the benefit of the cooldown, right? Which is what we want. Like, it's 10 seconds off, 9 seconds off, so just go do this. Kill your Krugs, get 11. You know they're taking this. Hold this if they're not going to go here, just shadow back down and go mid lane. If they do go here, then you use the numbers advantage to kill them and shove. He's holding that now. Pantheon, man, that champion is so good. So good. Anyway, thus concludes really the jungling facet. Let's kind of steamroll this to see how we end up closing this game out and who will win. GP ults. Pantheon gets low, uses the Shield of Destiny and Sparta, still almost kills our Udyr, uses Mega W, and the Lulu obviously has extra shield as well. We take this regardless. Kha'Zix, I'm not even looking at him. Did he actually? Did he? No way. Don't fight him if you can't fight him. But again, if you had, you know, Prowler's Claw, and maybe if you had your ultimate, we could do. Did he just stand still? That was the most anemic thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay. Anyway, right. Everyone respawns after that. I apologize for all Kha'Zix mains who have to witness this. You might be a better Kha'Zix mechanically, but his jungling was still solid. He made some good reads before he started making bad reads. But if he's Diamond 3-ish Kha'Zix, doing this and playing like this, and you look at this and go, wow, go watch your own Kha'Zix replay. It should be wow, wow, wow. And focus on what he did well, and then what he obviously did badly, put into your game plan. Because trust me, if you do that with this champion right now, free master tier, if you execute. Play enough games. Well, LP games are kind of good as well. So we have here a dragon fight. Let's see what happens. Zoom out a little bit. Udyr recognizes that their team is split. The red team, but so is their team. They're sitting in the Zyra pattern there of Leandris getting burned by plants. Kha'Zix is repositioning nicely. Not really the fight we want to take when our bot lane is mid lane. That's a big issue for me. Now, should our bot lane be mid lane? No. But basically, if you see this, right, as the blue team, okay, Pantheon will not come out of base from respawn. He does have ult coming up soonish. We see the 3v3, but we know the Akali is here, so it's much more likely to be 4v3 in their favor because our bottom lane is here activating Herald, which is why you take the Herald yourself. Okay, you take the Herald yourself, and that's what you use. If you don't want to take this fight, come from the top side, because then you can cut up, hit the Herald, punch, punch, cut in, punch, fall back. It's better than fighting this, because what's going to happen now is you're going to fight this 4v3 literally effectively. Okay, yeah, you kill the Zyra, but at what cost? The Q, unlucky. Bot lane comes full HP. Yeah, they drop the Herald, which is great. Like, if you want to fight for the dragon, and you can fight for the dragon, and you have the numbers, you can drop the Herald as a distractor as well, right? You can drop it, go fight the Herald. Someone might hold it so you get numbers advantage. Cool. That's also a thing you can do. But if you don't want to take the fight at all, Herald, shove, cut in, take camps, push this out, retreat back, nice and safe. Because of that, we're going to lose the Baron, I think. Yep, we lost the Baron. Right, everyone respawns. Now I think it's a bit of a doomed scenario. Let's see. We'll speed run it a little bit because I feel like most of this has been on that early to mid-game transition, early game, mid-game transition, which is most crucial for Diamonds in terms of optimizing their game plan. We now move into the zone. We get rooted by the Zyra, as I said. Nice later on in the game for our route to stop this. Udyr, you see the Kha'Zix floating around. Now he has his Tiamat. Gonna go the Ravenous Hydra tech, I hope. But, well. We'll pretend we didn't see it. GP was split pushing, but he goes back to base here. If we see the Kha'Zix base or you suspect someone's rotating, it's better to go back to base. If you don't think your team can hold, especially against the Baron, and you have the ult and you have your barrels and so on. So we do hold. Kha'Zix does show bot. So now if we had our team full HP, we could actually 5v4. Kha'Zix has a macro. TP your ult. Deep vision. Hit plants, please. Make sure you're safe. Worried about the trappings. Most likely resetting though. Alright. Doesn't look like much else happens here. Zyra sits mid lane. They recoalesce. Kale splits bot lane. They go for the 1-3-1, which means we could all in if we feel like our team comp is able to do so. Kha'Zix then moves deep. Very nice. Shadow, push them out. You have the Baron push, but the 1-3-1 will exert a lot of pressure with the Baron. GP will show here. Lissandra will have to show here. Now they can 3v3. That's what you're doing. Or, yeah. You don't have a lot of options. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're only down 3k gold, but because your because your split pushes are so damn far behind theirs, you have to be able to just 5v3 the mid lane. Like with Lissandra and GP, just all in the 3, kill them, decompress, handle the split pushes afterwards, lose a turret for it, doesn't matter. The shutdowns and the decompression will be huge. But because Lissandra just dies straight up to the Pantheon, they shove this, they can cut down now. Yep, there he goes. Patience, patience, patience. Kha'Zix has gone to farm a bit. Ezreal's on the bottom lane. And because they think, okay, look, we have numbers here. Just a slow siege. Very intelligent, not intelligent, relatively intelligent siege that we would normally see in solo queue. I think you can agree on that one. Right. Dragon is respawning. TP committed by Lissandra. They recognize Pantheon is gone and Zyra's gone. So the Lissandra TP's in, gets the kill in the Akali. That's beautifully done. Using the back timers against them. Well done. We know the Dragon is spawning. Can we go ahead and take that? Yes or no? We should be able to take another fight, actually. We should really be pushing this dragon out. You kill 2 people. There's a dragon spawning. And your response is to go invading another planet with nothing but balloon animals as your weapons. Someone goes mid lane, GP goes base. What you do when you have numbers advantage at this point in the game, shove, 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 make another pick, keep pushing, pushing, pushing. Use your numbers, use your 5v3 to get the objective, to get the bounty, to get the shutdowns. Now you cannot, now you're compromised, now you're gonna give up this because you're just loitering, waffling, and, well, jerking the gherkin around this pit. I mean, you can't anymore. You cannot. Leave, go do something else. You know, basically, like, take all of this, push this, cut and take this down, force this pressure here, take this sucker, push this out as well, decompress this. Don't do nothing here. Push the waves, take the camps, get something, because you're not going to get this. The next fight you're going to have is over the Baron, and you want to be as strong as possible, and if you're losing, it's really important that you're strong as possible. So, as I expected, the Enchanter main goes waffling and dies. The rest of the team splits and does silly things as well, so everyone is guilty. Now these 3 try and contest and go down. Caitlyn's like, I'll push this one, which doesn't seem like a good idea against a Kha'Zix and a Pantheon. She will have to flash that. He's doing what I think he should be doing, but he should have done it before, so we can go... Right? Maybe not this, maybe that's greedy, but push the wave, take your camps, take the scuttle, cut back, at least we got some vision. Do we want to fight, yay or nay? Make your decisions. But... looks like Caitlyn tried to do what she should have done a little bit too late. Pantheon is still there. He's always going to stun this guy. Kali's going to go ahead and kill the ADC. She will reposition. The Pantheon dissipates from the situation a little bit, then goes back in. Yes, Udyr is kind of strong. Yes, now this guy is way out of position. He still kills the Lulu regardless. He has a GA, early GA, because you killed me once. But can you kill me twice? With the Zyra there on the ult and the rotation, the answer should be maybe, yes. Bit of a... back and forth fight here. Is the Kha'Zix just... where is he? Yeah, there he is. I feel like the whole red team should have just been here straight up to make the kill. There we go. Now we can do the Baron. Okay. So that was a bit Fiesta. Diamond Fiesta for you. Can they? Should they? Will they? Won't they? Who knows? Find out next week on Diamond Jungling. No kills. Moving down and take the inhib. Same kind of slow round-the-world macro here. The team can hold... Yep, cut through so that they can't collapse the turret. Let the wave crash, snack that baby up. If they overcommit, make the engage. Oh. You see the Wingborn Storm did the work. Careful now, again, red team, you can't overcommit. You've done the good push, you've got the Baron, just leave. Maximize his life force, right? The Kha'Zix isn't even in the picture here, but yet we're going in. Blue team are trying. Yeah. Kha'Zix now pushes by himself and then pulls away. Good. Catches the mid lane. Someone's out of position. Pulls away. Good. See, that's what the Udyr should have been doing. Repositions. Udyr's out of position. We hit the root. Double plants. Double slow stacking. 25 plus 25 is 50% slow. We use the ult for a zoning tool. Didn't activate it on any plants, so Panther's gonna ult deep here. Should be able to kill the Lulu. He gets polymorphed. But can he do it with the Ezreal in his backside? Everfrost does hit. We have here many gamings, many damages going back and forth. Pantheon should die. He does. Ezreal's low. Akali will be rotating. What happens next? Zyra doing some disengaging. The W evolve doing work on the slows. As it does. We do have our up now with Ghost. Oh, that's a dead. That should be dead, Udyr. We can that should be dead people. Like, we can definitely reposition. Where are we going? Where are we going? We should be going in with the Akali. These are resets for free. He's too afraid. Like, he's playing Gore Drinker, but he's too afraid. Now he's going in. There we go. What are you doing? Where are you going? You have Aura Evolve. You don't need to go back in the bush for unseen passive threat. You don't have to run away from 1 HP targets. Okay. So he's too afraid. That's why he doesn't play Assassin. Because an Assassin with E-Evolve here is just looking at this. Just looking at this big eyes. We have someone in the Discord who's playing at around 700 RP MMR at the moment, just going QE Evolve, basically, full Assassin, and enjoying himself greatly. Oh, he does have E-Evolve. Well, I'm being an idiot, but... yeah, he should have just been going in and out. Why wasn't he? Anyway, GG, I'm an idiot. I missed the E-Evolve because he wasn't even thinking about it. He should have been. It's been a long video, so hopefully you can forgive that transgression. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.